Hey everyone, welcome back. Mark Thomas here. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about the COBIT 2019 exam preparation questions. Now in this short video, I'm not going to show you all of the sample or practice exams I have, but I wanted to give you a sneak peek at what you can expect if you go out to the Escoute e-learning site and get an example of some of the practice exams I've put together for you. But first, let's talk a little bit about the exam essentials. Remember the COBIT 2019 certificate exam for foundation. It's online closed book. It's a remotely proctored exam. This exam covers 8 domains and includes a total of 75 questions. The number of questions in each one of those domains is going to be based on the domain's assigned weight. I'll show you that in just a few minutes. You'll have 120 minutes to complete the exam, and you need 65% or higher to pass the exam. Registration fee is $175. To purchase and schedule your exam, go to the ISACA site, go to the COBIT page, and also I would suggest downloading the Foundation Certificate Exam Guide. It's a free download, or you can go out to the Escoute e-learning site and watch the video on the foundation exam logistics. As I mentioned before, the exam is broken up into different modules. These are the modules you'll see if you take a foundation course. Course modules 1 through 8, and here's the percentage of questions that are broken down into each one of those modules. In the exam preparation library out on my website, all of the 75 questions that I've put together for you roughly go along the same lines of the percentages that you see here. Let me tell you a little bit about what the exam preparation videos are all about. I've put together a full set of practice questions. Now, this is part of our premium e-learning library, so a subscription and a small monthly fee will be required. Now, here's the scoop. There are 5 exam preparation videos in this series, in addition to the exam preparation introduction. Each one of those has 15 questions. These are not official sample questions issued by ISACA. They include sample questions created by Escoute. This training series does not guarantee an exam pass, and I'll provide you with a PDF download with the questions and answers to each of those. It is highly recommended that you review the video that's called the COBIT 2019 Foundation Exam Logistics before you go out and take these exams. Now, of course, some tips. Make sure you read the full question, look for keywords, and determine which domain or module the question is coming from. That'll help you a lot. Remove answers that are clearly not correct, and of course, be cautious of those things like always or never. And if you get completely lost, look for that answer that would be most valuable to the enterprise. Now, let's jump on in and take a look at a couple of these sample questions I have for you. You'll see on top, this is question number 9 in the library that we've got, and let's take a look at what we have. Which of the following is the correct sequence of the goals cascade? Now, they're asking us about the goals cascade. Goals cascade is a pretty popular item within COBIT. As a matter of fact, I like to call it the best kept secret in IT today. So which of the following would be the sequence to that cascade? A, EDM, APO, BAI, DSS, and MEA. Well, that would be incorrect because that's describing the 5 domains in what we call the COBIT core. It is how we organize the governance and management objectives. EDM is evaluate, direct, and monitor, and that's the governance domain. APO, that's align, plan, and organize. BAI, build, acquire, and implement. DSS, deliver, service, and support. And finally, MEA is monitor, evaluate, and assess. The last of those 4 domains are considered management domains. So because of that, I'm going to get rid of A. That's not a correct answer. B says stakeholder drivers and needs, enterprise goals, alignment goals, governance and management objectives. Now, this is the correct sequence of steps in the goals cascade, so let's keep that one. Let's see what the third one says. Where are we now? Where do we want to be? How do we get there? How do we keep the momentum? Now, this is incorrect. That's describing a portion of the COBIT implementation model. Folks, this question comes from the governance system and components. During Phase 7, how do we keep the momentum going of the implementation lifecycle? Which of the following tasks would be part of change enablement? Now, this is a good one because remember there are 3 interrelated components to the implementation lifecycle. They're the core continual improvement lifecycle, which is the inner ring, the change enablement, which is the middle ring, and program management, which is the outer ring. And around the outside of this wheel, you might recall this, there are 7 steps or phases. The question is asking us about the 7th phase and the middle ring, which is change enablement. So A would be incorrect because review effectiveness is part of the outer ring, which is program management of Phase 7. Monitor and evaluate. Incorrect, because monitor and evaluate is part of the inner ring or continual improvement of Phase 7. So that leaves us with C, sustain. Sustain is a correct answer. That's what you will see in the implementation wheel under Phase 7 within change management. Folks, that comes from the implementation module right there. In which step of the governance system design workflow would you resolve inherent priority conflicts? So they're asking us which step. Now remember, the governance system design workflow is part of designing a tailored governance system. In which of those steps would we resolve inherent priority conflicts? Remember, there are 4 steps to this governance system design workflow. Step 1, understand context and strategy. Step 2, determine the initial scope of the governance system. Step 3, refine the scope of the governance system. And finally, step 4, conclude the governance system. So I'd recommend that you know the sub-steps to each of these before you take this exam. Let's jump into the answers. A, step 2, determine the initial scope of the governance system. That would be incorrect. We do not resolve inherent priority conflicts in this step. This is where we consider things like enterprise strategy, goals, risk profile, and INT-related issues, which are the first 4 design factors. A would be an incorrect answer. B, step 4, conclude the governance system design. This is a correct statement. In this step, we would do 2 things. We resolve inherent priority conflicts, and we conclude the governance system design. So B sounds like a good answer. C says step 1, what are the drivers? That is not correct, because step 1 of that workflow is not what are the drivers. That's actually Phase 1 of the implementation lifecycle. Let's get rid of that. Our answer here is B, and that's going to come from designing a tailored governance system. COBIT describes 2 sets of principles, blank principles and blank principles. Well, this is a pretty easy one. It should be for most of us, because this is really a core part of COBIT. Remember, we have 2 sets of principles out there. Let's see what we've got. A says governance and management. That is incorrect. Now, although COBIT does stress the distinction between governance and management, these are not principles in the COBIT framework. System and framework, let's put that in. System principles and framework principles. That would be correct. There are 6 governance system and 3 governance framework principles. These would be the correct titles. Value and compliance. C, that is incorrect. I would consider this as an easy throwaway. Well, these sound legit because it has the term value and compliance. They're not principles of the COBIT framework, and there you go. Folks, I hope this has been helpful for you to see how you might walk through some of the sample or practice exams for the COBIT 2019 Foundation exam. This is just a small portion of the 75-question sample exam that I have for you. Remember, go out to Escoute.com and go to the e-learning site. You'll be able to find the premium courses out there. Of course, I will provide that PDF download for each one of those sample exam banks that you can use to prepare for the exam. Good luck, everyone. I look forward to seeing you out on Escoute.com.